So it has come to my attention that people are not aware of what piracy means. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm putting out a video, and it's not me milking the Power World Nintendo drama for everything it's worth. I know there's a video in the works for that. It'll be coming out hopefully sometime this weekend. But in the meantime, I am going to define what piracy is. According to dictionary.com, piracy is the practice of a pirate, robbery, or illegal violence at sea. So, you are correct. Illegally copying or downloading videos and games is not piracy unless you are robbing them while at sea or committing illegal violence at sea. Correct. There's also this second definition, that is the unauthorized reproduction or use of a copyrighted book, recording, television program, patent, invention, trademark, product, etc. So maybe not that. Maybe yes. Also, that is piracy. And there's also like a third definition I wanted to include here called it's also called stream capture, which is a geology term for the diversion of the upper part of one stream by the headward growth of another. And I thought that was such a funny thing to have, because some geologist saw one stream causing another stream to divert and equated that to like incredible violence at the high seas. It equated it to what might be one of the most terrifying things for like a merchant during the age of piracy to see. It's the same to them. Cool. Awesome. But this came about, like, the reason I decided to want to do a video on this was just because, like, I can't remember which video it was I posted, but I posted one video, and it started getting, like, a lot of comments that were basically like, well, it's not piracy. It's like, if I illegally download this, it's not even, I don't even remember which one I talked about, piracy or copyright. I think I mentioned that, like, hey, I agree with, not pirating stuff because, pay the artist or whatever, but I don't even remember which one that was in. I think it was in the Nintendo can break your Switch one, because I mentioned, like, I'm okay with copyright protection and anti-piracy protection, but they're still crossing a line. And I might be dating myself here, but do they not show that little FBI warning at the beginning of movies and stuff anymore? Like, I haven't particularly noticed it, but I usually also just watch stuff through streaming. So do they not show that FBI piracy warning that says the unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyrighted work is illegal? Criminal copyright infringement, including infringement without monetary gain, is investigated by the FBI and is punishable by up to 5 years in federal prison and a fine of $250,000. Because, one, clearly says it's criminal, and it clearly throws in the without monetary gain. Because one of the biggest arguments a lot of people were saying to the comments like I was seeing there, and the few I bothered to try to reply to, was that, oh, well, if I'm not the one that's actually giving it away, if I'm not the one actually distributing or selling it, then it's not a crime. No, it is a crime. It is, in fact, a crime. And I'm not gonna quibble over and argue over the ethics and the morality of whether or not it should be considered a crime. I'm a person who believes that, artists and people who create works should be paid for the works that they create, for the art that they create, for the product that they create, for their efforts. And if they are charging more than I like, then I just don't buy the thing. With very few exceptions, I think it is the wherewithal of the company or the individual that is selling a product to determine whatever price they want to sell it at. When it comes to things like necessities and their price gouging, yeah, no, that should not be allowed. But if it's just some like game or some piece of art or some movie and they want to charge $1 billion for it, or, that's insane, but they want to charge ridiculously more than they should for it, that is their right to do so. I hope they choke on their greed. I hope it kills their company, it kills their product, and they don't make any product off of it. But my personal integrity, I don't pirate things. I've always been, I buy my music, I buy whatever. But to further elaborate on the FBI's warning there, according to Title 17 of the United States Code, subsection 506, criminal infringement of copyright law. Any person who willingly infringes a copyright shall be punished as provided under section 2319 of Title 18 if the infringement was committed for purpose of commercial advantage or private financial gain, by reproduction or distribution, including by electronic means during any 180-day period of one or more copies of phonorecords of one or more copyrighted works, which have a total retail value of more than $1,000, or, and that or is important because that means these are all separate instances that they could charge you under, by the distribution of a work being prepared for commercial distribution by making available on a computer network accessible to members of the public, if such person knew or should have known that the work was intended for commercial distribution. Right there. It's a crime. Now, it uses the word financial gain. Financial gain is defined in this same code as the term financial gain includes receipt or expectation of receipt of anything of value, including the receipt of other copyrighted works. And when you read this thing, when you read this document, these codes, it is understood that the receipt of something of value is referring to electronic things, like referring to digital things, because a lot of this was about music or about illegal copying of movies and digital theft and things like that. So the receipt of anything of value, anything that has a value for private financial gain, which is what you're doing, is criminal copyright infringement. Now, there is definitions different. I'm going to go to Title 18, USC 2319, to kind of show what the different punishments for this are, because there is misdemeanor and felony copyright infringement. A felony is basically the crimes that they can send you to jail for more than 1 year for. I'm not a lawyer, but that is how I've, one, seen legal YouTubers explain it, and two, understand it to be just from like reading so much stuff about this. But the different punishments for violation of Title 17, subsection 506, is 1, shall be in prison not more than 5 years or fined in the amount set forth in this title, or both, if the offense consists of the reproduction or distribution, including by electronic means, during any 100-day period of at least 10 copies of phonorecords of one or more copyrighted works, which have a total retail value of more than $2,500. So if you're redistributing the stuff, you're selling it, you're giving it away, and it has, you're any of the multiple websites where that gets distributed through, and the retail value would have been more than $2,500. First offense, you can go to jail for 5 years and be fined some amount. Listen, finding all this stuff was so hard. I'm keeping it simple. Part 2, shall be in prison not more than 10 years or fined in the amount set forth in this title, or both, if the offense is a felony and is a second or subsequent offense under subsection A. And 3, shall be in prison not more than 1 year or fined in the amount set forth in this title, or both, in any other case. So any case where it is not a value of over $2,500, and more specific ones refer to $1,000 for misdemeanor, if it's about distribution, if you're distributing more than $1,000 for, but then separate private financial gain from that. So it's if you're distributing more than $1,000 worth, or if you're using for private financial gain, which means downloading it just to use it. If you illegally download a game or illegally download a movie or illegally download music or anything else for personal use, it is still the receipt of something of value. It is private financial gain. It still categorizes as a misdemeanor. It still categorizes as a crime. Now, like a lot of the other stuff I was seeing was talking about, listen, if it's not over that $1,000 threshold, they're probably not going to bother. Like there's several like legal sites and attorneys and all these different readings that I've done, because I've spent, a lot of time just trying to find the right documents for this, because it's finding, I have so much more respect for lawyers, because just finding the right documents that are the actual official, like, U.S. government documents and not like some extra website, or like right now I'm reading off the Cornell Law School one, but it's the same exact text from the legal website. It just is presented in a way that is easier to read. Is such a pain in the ass. But a lot of the like attorney stuff and saying, listen, if it's not over $1,000, the likelihood of them prosecuting it, of them bothering to prosecute it, is very, very low. But it is still by definition a crime. Now, if it's one that you're going to take the risk with because you're like, listen, I'm not doing enough to actually merit the FBI investigating me like they put forward. I don't know about the rest of you. I don't know who anyone else, and this is again probably dating myself, but my God, were all those piracy ads just everywhere when I was a kid. Anytime you turn on the TV or a movie or anything, there was the FBI warning, and then there was that really like gritty, like looked like it was supposed to be a music video, like FBI ad or warning, whatever you want to call it, that was like, you wouldn't download a car, would you? And then people went ahead and started, making 3D printers and stuff, and there's probably some 3D printer model out there for a maybe slightly functioning car that doesn't use a combustion engine. I don't know. Like, I'm willing to bet that there is some 3D model out there, STL file for a car. Whether or not you could actually put an engine in it and get it to run without it melting, who knows? And I guarantee there are people that would 100% download a car. But the fact that people like are still saying, "Oh, it's not a crime," that was kind of just really what I want to address. And honestly, this is just admittedly me being petty and just responding to that, and not really petty because I don't really care if people think it's not a crime or whatever. That's make your own mistakes, do whatever you feel is ethically right by your own definition. I believe in not doing that, but the people that believe it is okay, there's nothing I can say or do that's going to convince them. But it is to correct those people that are like, it's not even a crime, especially some of the ones that were very like, oh, it's not a crime at all, what are you talking about, and being kind of aggressive about it. It is a crime. It is by definition a crime. Is it a crime that they are ever going to come after you for? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I'm sure you could find some case somewhere where they have legally prosecuted some individual for piracy of some amount of stuff for some reason. Whether or not it carried through and whether or not they actually got convicted, who knows? But listen, I'm working on the other Power World video. This has been a video that I've been like talking to my editor for a while about. Yeah, I'll just do this video on it just to like explain what piracy technically is, because why not? Hey, free video. So here it is. I'm working on another video that's taking a lot of research and effort to make sure it's getting right. So here's one for the interim. The next Power World lawsuit update video is gonna be hopefully coming out this weekend. As well, I am officially activating memberships on my channel. In large part because I want to be able to pay my editor more. For the longest time, until like this year, to partly through this year, I edited all my own stuff by myself. Obviously, like the quality was mid at best. I edited all my stuff by myself, and I didn't want to get an editor. And I had people coming like, "Oh, I'll edit for free," and I'd see people post, "I'm just trying to get some experience editing for free," and blah blah. And I didn't want to do that because I wasn't anywhere near getting monetized, so I wouldn't be able to comfortably pay them. And I didn't want to ask them to do something for free. Burp. But now I'm activating memberships because, one, now that I am monetized, you might have seen an ad on this video. Now that I'm monetized, I can pay my editor with an ad revenue split. So he's getting a little bit of money out of it. But we both have discussed it. We've already talked about it several times. He would love to make this a full-time job, to make content creation and editing a full-time job for him. I would love to be able to push out more content because I have a whole bunch of ideas for different things that I want to do and different stuff I want to discuss, but I don't have the time to do all the editing that I would need to do to make this content, and definitely don't have the ability to do it as well as he does it, because he does it very, very well, and he has a full-time job on top of this, so he doesn't have the time for the amount of content that I want to push out and all the different stuff me and him talk about. Hey, let's do this, let's add this to the list of things we might do. So until basically the money from the memberships is going to go to him until it gets to a point where the amount that me and him have discussed that he would need to get monthly in order to be able to do this full time. That was effectively $3,000. He needs to, subsidize his income now with this. If he is making as much from editing for me as he does from his full-time job, then he can just decide to do editing full-time. So that number we talked about was like $3,000. So if you decide to become a member, it will go entirely to him up until it reaches that $3,000 point, and then it's going to divide into if I need to increase my team size because I'm putting out more content. Some of it going to me so I can make money off of this too. And any other things we need, you know, I want to pay for this software licenses for some stuff if I need to increase the team size because there's like a bunch of different things I want to do, and et cetera, et cetera. But that first $3,000 for membership is going to go straight to him. Now, what do you get from these memberships? Basic level. I had to do 3 levels. YouTube, it's really weird. YouTube, when I said all the different stuff I want to give as membership rewards, automatically said, okay, you need 3 tiers of membership. And then when I tried to put everything in the first lowest tier of membership, they refused to let me do that. I was not allowed to put everything in the lowest tier of membership and just have the higher tiers be like, hey, if you want to donate more kind of thing. And I couldn't even put almost everything. Like it directly told me take stuff out. So the lowest tier, $3 a month. The Your Neat tier, I'm going to come up with new titles for these at some point. The Your Neat tier unlocks loyalty badges, emojis that I will update. I have an artist friend that I've been commissioning for different emojis for live streams, so those are also going to be updated. Members only live chat, so when I'm streaming, I will activate the members only thing a lot of times, along with like the live commentary mode. So if I'm streaming, the members will be able to talk, unless there is some crazy reason why I have to turn off chat. Priority replies to comments. It will let me know which comments are from members, and I will do my best to reply to every single comment from a member, because with some of these videos recently, it starts to get to a point where so many comments, I just can't feasibly reply to all of them. Members-only videos. There will be the occasional members-only video, members-only polls, and early access to new videos. I'm going to try to do up to 24-hour early access. That will depend on sometimes, like, we get the video finished editing, like, 2 hours before it's supposed to go up. Sometimes we have it 2-3 days before it's supposed to go up. So at least up to 24 hours early access. The You're Pretty Cool tier for $7 will be members only shorts because it made me add an extra thing. I'm going to put out members only shorts, possibly. But the big thing with that was the member shout out and text. I will have anyone who's at that tier, I will regularly update a list that will appear at the end of stream or at the end of a video, and then occasionally on stream. As a thank you with their member names and stuff, as long as your member names aren't egregious. And then member shout out verbal which is $15. That's the hey tier, which will give access to member only live streams because I had to have 2 things in this tier. And then the member shout out verbal, which is I will read your names off at the end of stream as long as they're nothing too egregious. But yeah, there's that. That's the video. If you want to support, please do. If not, don't. And check out my other content. So I'll be getting the next Power World video out hopefully this weekend. Bye.